Hey, everybody. It is Peter and Sal here from Strong Healthy Women. And welcome to Talking Wellbeing TV, where we share hints, tips, and advice about the foundations of wellbeing. And today we want to talk about simple, easy, effective things that you can do to move your health and your wellbeing and your fitness one step forward. Sal reminded me of this. She was telling me a little story a while back, and that story was about how she has chocolates and lollies and whatnot in the house for the kids. And what would happen is that she'd keep going in and grabbing one all the time out of the fridge. And she said there was one day there where she cleaned her teeth and she still came down and ate the chocolates. And then, so what happened was she then went, you know what? I got my fruit and veggies down the bottom and I need to be eating more of those, and I need to be eating less of these chocolates and sweeties and whatever. So I'm going to just swap them over. So they went down into the food crisper and the others came up. And voila, it worked. Is that right, Sal? Good job.
Yes, it worked. And it was just that simple step.
A really, yeah, and sometimes they're really obvious things that we don't so much think about. Just, moving things around in the fridge. So if you've got to have, those not so good things in the house, then you want to put them out of reach or out of sight, so that they're not the first thing that you go for, or not the first thing that you see, so that they're that constant temptation for you. So, Sal, let's talk about fitness then. So there's a lot of different processes you could go through when it comes to starting an exercise program, but I think you really have to start with what's easy.
Yes.
Because if you make it too hard, it's just going to be overwhelming. And I think that sometimes what happens is that we look at the end result, or where we want to be, or where we were, and we don't give ourselves that time to just take those first steps and then just build that momentum from there, and to keep practicing and make it a consistent habit in our life as well too. So have you got any hot tips for us around exercise then?
Another thing I just wanted to add to that as well, Peter, when you said sometimes it can be too overwhelming. We tend to like to do research too. So we might follow this person for fitness, this person for fitness, and this person for fitness. We haven't started it ourselves, but once again, it's that information overload, and you can go, they're doing it this way, they're doing it this way. So pick your favourite and just follow that person to take that step as well, to take that first step.
Hi, Annette, she's just said, I've hidden chocolates in the veggie drawer in the fridge because you knew the kids would never go there. Okay, you got to not know that they're there though, Annette, so that you don't go for them. I love it. I know that I've actually done the same thing myself.
Love it.
Good one. Yeah, good one. I'm sorry, Sal, we interrupted you. I just thought that was wonderful. No, thanks, Annette, for sharing that.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So the first thing, if you've not done anything at all, start with a walk. Start with 5-minute walk around the backyard. Start with a 5-minute walk up and down your driveway, even up and down your street. A few years ago, we had a gentleman who was starting running in our street. And every night he'd get out about 6 o'clock at night and he would just run up and down our street. And I have a slight hill on my street. So
yeah, you do.
It was him just starting out, and he would just run up and down the street. And I thought, good for him.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'd even take it even further back than that. So the first thing is that, how are you going to do that exercise? What are you going to wear? So I would even go as far as to say, let's get the gym shoes out. Let's get the gym clothes out. And if you don't have them, then maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to go to the shops and buy yourself some gym clothes. You know, things that get rid of the sweat, those wicker type clothing, you know, good, solid, comfy shoes that are going to get you to where you want to go. And, you know, even if you just simply put those shoes and that outfit on and you do nothing but walk up and down your hallway, or you stay in those clothes for a half an hour, you've just taken action. Yes. And so if you take that action each and every day, then what's going to happen is eventually you'll say to yourself, this is ridiculous. I actually need to do something now with these shoes and these clothes. So it will get you to that next stage, which is then to, you know, go walking in the street as you suggested, or go running in the street. So, yeah, there's countless amounts of things that you can do. I was thinking about meditation. Like, we don't meditate for the sake of, I just want to be a meditator.
No.
We meditate because we're feeling chaotic. So we're feeling overwhelmed, and so why we meditate is we do it because we want to get rid of that feeling of, you know, the craziness that's happening in our lives. So we want to take that time out to just sit and, you know, reflect and have that moment out. And so, and I think that's another great way of actually looking at it. So when you say, you know, I want to be fit or I want to be healthy, what's the thing that you need to do that? So is it exercise, or is it eating healthier? Is it a combination of both? So they're the actions that you need to take in order to get to that particular level.
Excuse me, sorry.
Big sneeze there? Yeah. So we want... Yeah, you improved the life when you did that. You know, you just swiveled just a fraction and it improved the light. So who knows? So are there any other little tricks that you can think about that you go, that's an absolute must-have?
I want to share a little tip that I just read about 10 minutes ago. And I'm not sure where it was posted, but it was quite interesting. And we're always talking about starting your day a little earlier. If you struggle to get up in the morning. The other one is starting our day with water. And so this tip was to put your phone or your alarm away from your bed, at the end of the bed, wherever you may put it. Put your water inside your phone and where your alarm is. When your alarm goes off, get up, drink your water. And they said the advice was that if you do go back to bed, you'll be back up in half an hour going to the bathroom, so you may as well stay up. So you're getting your water in and you're getting up early. And I thought that's a wonderful tip. Put the phone at the end of your bed. You can get up earlier.
Put the water at the end. Oh, I have to have my water right next to my bed. Unfortunately, it's the first thing that I go for. I'm just in the habit of actually doing that. But I do like the idea of actually, you know, setting the alarm further away from you so that you actually do have to move to it to actually take that action again too. So a lot of things that we do, we think it's, we don't think about the action that it takes.
No.
Yeah, so it's that forward moving action. So if we say we want to start journaling as an example, what's the action we're going to take in regards to that? It'd be a couple of actions. Yeah. So the first thing is that we need a book to write in. We need a pen to write in. When is the best time for that to slot into your day? Why do you want to journal? Because I know why I journal, because we have so many crazy thoughts go on in our head. And if we don't get them out, they just wander around in there and keep us awake of a night time. Or what we do is we dump it on our significant other. And so, they end up with all the problems that we've got. And then eventually, particularly if they're male, they'll turn their little ears off and they won't hear what we're saying. And so the journaling is all about being able to clear those thoughts out of your mind, get them on a piece of paper so that you can have clearer thought processes.
Yes. And my story with the journaling, I've done it. It was a suggestion that you gave me, and so I journal at night. And to get me into that habit of journaling, it was the last thing I do, brush my teeth. So I put the journal in the bathroom. So that was the only reminder for me to journal.
Yeah. Some of the other tips that if you want to eat healthier, this is one of my personal favorites, and to use the journal. So what I do is I write down breakfast, and I write down all the ingredients, whatever went into the meal. So breakfast as an example. So I might write down eggs, spinach, broccoli, capsicum, onion. I might have added some cumin. I might have cooked it with some olive oil, etc., etc. And so then what I do is I tally up so I write down whole foods. So out of everything that I ate, how many whole foods did I have in that? So if it came out of a package or if it came out of a tin or the likes, then it's not a whole food. So whole foods, include your meats and your lentils and, all those things that you're cooking for yourself, your fruits, your veggies. And so you can actually get a good picture of how many pieces of real food that you're actually eating. And I think that's a really great stepping stone when it comes to eating healthier, because it gives us this insight into what's real and what's not, because we do believe that our body needs real food, not unreal food. Sometimes that unreal food does taste unreal, though. So,
like the chocolate in the veggie drawer.
Yeah, that's right. And so by actually writing it down, at the end of the day, I then have this little competition as to how many whole foods have I eaten, but in addition to that, how many colours did I eat? And was there a colour that I missed that day? So if I missed a colour, then what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have that colour the following day. So every colour that I eat has a different, phytonutrient to it. And so it does something different for my body. And therefore, I want to make sure that I'm getting all those things in. So that would be a really great place to start, ladies. Forget, I'm going to do low carb, I'm going to do keto, I'm going to do, whatever else is out there, paleo, this, that, and everything else. It is about eating real foods. And if you think about it, most of the things that we're seeing now, they're just old diets that we've seen years and years ago reinvented. And so our body needs lots of things. But as we're aging, our body also might have certain intolerances as well too. So this is where it's really important to listen to your body. So that's where that journaling can come in and be very, very helpful. So if you've eaten something, you go, oh, today I ate this, but my tummy bloated up. So you try it one more time, and if it bloats up, then you go, okay, I'm not going to eat that for a little bit, and see what happens, and see if the next time you eat it, whether you get that bloating, because then you'll know that there's that little bit of intolerance for you as well. So that's another tip for you ladies, is to actually use your journal to write down how many whole foods. And it's a little challenge I'm going to give the insiders coming up for any of those who happen to be watching today. Yep. All right. Next tip. You got another tip?
Another tip, 10 gulps.
Oh, 10 gulps. Yeah, I love the 10 gulps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you do struggle with water and you want to increase your water, ladies, I have a model that I've prepared earlier.
I had finished
10 gulps.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Ten gulps.
10 gulps.
That's
now
how
that
you
took
do it.
Peter about 30 seconds, and you would have drunk 1 cup of water, 1 glass of water.
Yeah.
Around that, yeah. So if you do struggle to get your water in, fill your glass up, 10 gulps.
Mm.
And I will add a little bit more to that, in that have a glass before and after dinner, or before and after each meal as well. You'll have 6 glasses of water.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of, as you know, water first thing in the morning, because that's the ideal time for those cells to regenerate and restore. So I'm all about slowing down that aging process as much as I possibly can. And so, I will drink, 1 to 1.5 litres first thing in the morning. So I do like that option as well too. So I like that tip. I'd forgotten about our 10 gulps as well too. Yeah. The other little tip is to set your alarm on your phone every hour. So it goes off for an hour. And what you want to do is just move for 5 minutes. So it doesn't matter what that movement is, whether you walk up and down your hallway, whether you go outside and walk around your house, whether you jump on your bike and ride around for 5 minutes, jump in the pool. So that's what I've just done before I've come in here. And I'm already sweating. So our humidity's at 100% or something or other. It's just crazy. So it is. It was, yesterday was bad and today is just terrible. So
I bought a little
swimming is
blow-up pool. I bought a little blow-up pool because I knew it was getting hot, and I actually meditated in my blow-up pool yesterday. And it was beautiful. But it was just so relaxing because it was Sunday. So there was a lot more nature sounds around. So it was listening to the birds and the trees because it was windy. Yeah, it was just beautiful. Sorry, just had to share
that. Great. So what have we got so far? Firstly, if those chockies and sweets are a problem for you, swap it around so they're not the first thing that you see. If you can not have them in the house, that's even better still. But if you can just simply swap them around and make them a little bit harder for you to actually get out, then that's going to work as well too. Start by just, putting on your gym clothes. Even if you don't do anything with it, put it on. And then that next step is to just walk somewhere. It doesn't matter where it is. Just get yourself moving. The 10 gulps. So to get more water into your day as well too. That's a great one. And then when it comes to food, just journaling, writing down everything that you've had in your meal and working out how many whole foods you had. So you can start with the whole foods. As I said, I then work it out into colours as well too. So if you wanted to up the ante on it. But the trick is to actually just pick one of these things. Don't pick them all. Just pick one that's the easiest. And that's what you want. You want one thing that's the easiest to do, so that what that means is that you're going to keep doing it because you've done it yesterday, so you'll do it again the next day and then the next day and the next day. So that way it starts to become part of your routine. And that's what it's all about, is practicing these things each and every day until you get so good at it that you want to add something else into it.
Something different, yeah. And this goes back to what we discussed at the beginning, which was information overload. Don't overload yourself with the information.
I know. And there is, because everything is at the touch of a button, you know, we can just find something out so easily that we can very much spend our time in that learning process or that gathering process and not take the action. And the key to getting results is that we do need to take the action. The key to our healthiest, fittest, happiest life is to take action in those areas of our life. Like, the thing is that if you're into portion control, so you might be into that, you know, looking at your, you know, and measuring your foods, then if you want to be consistent with that, then you need to leave your scales and your measuring cups and your measuring spoons out. Don't put them away, because if you put them away, you're making it more difficult for yourself to actually go and get them out and do something with them. And so what you want to do is get rid of that that rubbing sensation, whatever that's called, where it's gritting against you. So and it's making it more difficult for you to do it. It's like a little obstacle that's been put in the road, and sometimes that small obstacle can end up being a very big obstacle if it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So have you got any final tips for us, Sal?
When you're just talking about the obstacles, you know, think of it as a trip down the street. If there was a, you know, a tree branch in the road or a big rock in the road, don't just drive around it, move it off the road, and then that's your easiest path through. So have things out, as you said yourselves, have them out where you can see them. Think about, like myself, changing the veggies where I could see them, as opposed to the chocolate where I could see them. So just make things easier and take those steps. Your new workout gear, if you're going to start tomorrow, lay it out on your bed for first thing in the morning.
And that's where you can use that phone that we were talking about, the alarm going off, is to actually put the phone over there with the clothes, because then you actually are going to get out of bed. You are going to walk over to those clothes. You know, there's nothing like having accountability, though, having someone who says, have you done this? They can't do it for you, but they're certainly going to prompt you into actually thinking about the actions that you're taking as well too. So good point. Totally. So ladies, hopefully you've got a few little tips there that you can start to get more water into your daily intake, so that you can think about how you're eating your healthy food, and so you can start to get moving that little bit more. I mean, we could go on and on, because look, we know that the aging body needs strength training, and it needs flexibility, and it needs endurance. And so many of us have a foot in one camp, but we don't put the foot in the other camp as well too. So, but when you're starting out, it is about starting with something that is going to be the simplest, the easiest thing that you feel comfortable in doing. But then what happens is we become very comfortable in what we're doing, and so our body gets used to it. And so we might be at a stage now, so we're at that next level where we're going, well, you know, I'm doing all the right things, but I'm not getting the results that I want. Well, that's because we haven't changed it up again, and that's what our body will expect. It will expect that we do change it up to get different results. So good point to leave it on, I think. So hopefully, Annette, you got something out of that. I think you've stayed with us all day. Thank you so much for staying with us today, Annette. Really appreciate it. All right, ladies, take care. Thanks for joining me today, Sel.
Thank you for having me as always. I will see you at 5:30.
Yes, see you in the FitFlex studio. Okay.
Yes.
See you, everybody. Take care.
Bye, ladies.
See you, Sel.
Bye.